The African Academy of Languages, ACALAN, the African Union's specialized language agency, cannot overlook the Scientific and Technical Committee in the progress of its activities. To this effect, a statutory meeting of ACALAN's Scientific and Technical Committee was held from the 3rd to 5th of April 2019 in Brazaville, Republic of Congo, under the presidency of Professor Sami Bebanchombo, President of the Assembly of Academicians, who was ably represented by Professor Ayobangboshe on the first day of the meeting. The essence of the meeting was to review ACALAN's activities, taking into account its strategic plans 2019 to 2029. Assists the Executive Secretariat in the preparation of the program of activities of ACALAN and the implementation and resource mobilization strategies. Discuss other issues pertaining to the functioning of ACALAN in line with statutory role of the committee and set up a resource mobilization committee. According to the statutes of ACALAN, members of ACALAN's Scientific and Technical Committee, partners and resource persons attended the meeting. They were the President of the Assembly of Academicians, who is the Chairperson of the Scientific and Technical Committee of ACALAN, heads of national languages structures and coordinators of vehicular cross-border language commissions, selected according to regional economic communities, specialists or representatives of the institutions and organizations, the advice of which may be useful to ACALAN, representatives of African and international civil society organizations, the Executive Secretary of ACALAN as Secretary to the Committee, and other staff of the ACALAN Secretariat. Before declaring the meeting open, the Honorable Minister of Culture and Arts of the Republic of Congo, Mr. Dieudonné Moyongo, thanked ACALAN for having chosen Brazaville for the meeting and assured the Executive Secretary of the government's support. Apart from the Secretariat's presentation of the ACALAN Work Plan, 10-year Strategic Plan, Structure and Functioning, the Language Commissions, national structures and partner institutions also made their presentations during the meeting thus. Professor Paul Nzete, the Lingala Commission Coordinator, Professor Francois Lumbwamu, the Kikongo Commission Coordinator, Professor John Kiango, the Kiswahili Commission Coordinator, Professor Louis Martin Ongwene Esono, Coordinator of the Betty Fang Vehicular Cross-Border Language Commission, Dr. Boni Zungu, the Isizulu Commission Secretary, Professor Boniface Keita, Director General of the Malian Academy of Languages, AMALAN, National Structure and Institutional Focal Point of ACALAN in the Republic of Mali, Professor Timothy Mukash Kalel, Director General of the National Language Observatory, National Structure of ACALAN in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mr. John Bosco Nzingamie, Director of the Cultural Center of Burundi, National Structure of ACALAN in the Republic of Burundi, Dr. Selimani Sewangi, Coordinator of ACALAN's Kiswahili Corpus Project, the status of the Kiswahili Corpus Project, Mr. Tublu Komi Nkegwe Foga, Coordinator, Center for Linguistic and Historical Studies by Oral Tradition, CELTO, Professor Charles Binam Bikoy, Executive Secretary, the International Center for Research and Documentation in African Languages, Sedotola, Professor Antoine Manda Chebwa, Director General of the International Center of Bantu Civilizations, and Mr. C.L. Hakemi Hassad, Secretary General, Office of the High Commission for the Amazigh Language. In addition, the Executive Secretary of ACALAN, Dr. Lang Fafa Damfa, presented the vision, mission, projects, achievements, perspectives, and operational challenges of the Academy. The presentation showed that ACALAN successfully carried out its activities that had been planned for 2018 and appreciated the unfailing support and assistance the ACALAN working structures and organs and the Department of Social Affairs, in particular the Division of Culture. Dr. Damfa emphasized that culture is one of the most important aspects of the sustainable development of a people. He therefore urged African leaders and policymakers to provide the necessary support for ACALAN's efforts to develop and promote African values and cultures, of which African languages are one of the main components. It was later recommended that the Secretariat should make available all necessary mechanisms, including a committee for the launch of the Pan-African Center for Interpretation and Translation. Each Vehicular Cross-Border Languages Commission should recommend 2 qualified and competent members to be trained by the Kiswahili corpus experts. The Pan-African Masters and PhD program in African Languages and Applied Linguistics, PanMapal, should be revised, and the Secretariat should revisit the Cape Town recommendations and make follow-up. The Secretariat, in collaboration with the Project for the Study of Alternative Education in South Africa, PRESA, coordinator for an update of the project. Regional institutions of culture and languages should serve as ACALAN regional structures in the spirit of partnership and collaboration. The Secretariat should create an interactive platform for all ACALAN working structures and organs, and the report of the Scientific and Technical Committee should be submitted to the Assembly of Academicians. To cap it all, the activities of ACALAN were reviewed, taking into account its Strategic Plan 2019 to 2029. The Executive Secretariat of ACALAN was assisted in the preparations and implementation of its programs of activities and resource mobilization strategies. Other issues pertaining to the functioning of ACALAN in line with the statutory role of the committee were discussed, and a resource mobilization committee was set up, headed by Professor Sozeno Francisco Martini, the immediate past Executive Secretary of ACALAN.